the other day, my mom came into my room and she was like screaming at me because I'm like failing or something. I don't know. And then like 10 minutes later at dinner, she's like just trying to joke around with me and stuff like nothing even happened. I swear she's bipolar or something. You know, in your video, you should talk about how this weather's bipolar, right? Yeah. Yeah, but aren't all girls bipolar? It's come to my attention that a lot of people like to make light of bipolar disorder. I'm assuming that this is just because the people think that bipolar disorder is someone that just has mood swings, but the reality is a lot more serious and a lot more scary. And I know what I'm talking about when I say it's scary because my mom and sister have bipolar disorder. Bipolarism is a brain disorder that causes shifts in mood, energy, and ability to carry out daily tasks. The shifts people go through are ones of overexcited states called manic episodes and ones of extremely sad or hopeless states called depressive episodes. There are even mixed states, which is a mixture of both overexcited and depressive, which is weird. My mom describes her disorder as an emotional roller coaster. That one day or moment you can have all these great ideas and plans, but the next day or moment you can be depressed and wondering why you're even alive. When someone is having a manic episode, they will have long periods of feeling high or overly joyed. They can also be extremely irritable. Manic episodes will be apparent because the person having it will be easily distracted, overly restless, sleeping little or not being tired, having unrealistic belief in one's ability, behaving impulsively, engaging in dangerous behaviors, talking very fast, and having racing thoughts. When someone is having a depressive episode, they will have a long period of sadness or hopelessness. The person having the episode will be tired, have trouble making decisions, remembering, or concentrating, be restless or irritable, change eating and sleeping habits, and they will have thoughts of suicide or death and might attempt suicide. My mom said her worst depressive episode was when she overdosed for the first time. She said she had been feeling depressed and feeling like she was a failure as a wife, mother, and Christian. She felt like a big disappointment and made a list of all the things she thought were wrong with her, and came to the conclusion that everyone would be better off if she were dead. She took 30 Tylenol PM. Luckily, my mom survived, but 20% of bipolar people that attempt suicide succeed. Some people who have severe episodes of mania or depression experience hallucinations or delusions. These psychotic symptoms usually reflect the kind of episode the person is having. For example, if the person is having a manic episode, they can believe that they have lots of money, are famous, or have powers. If the person is having a depressive episode, they can believe that they are broke or have committed a crime. People with these psychotic symptoms are usually misdiagnosed as being schizophrenic. In fact, 70% of bipolar people are misdiagnosed at least once. Bipolar disorder tends to run in families. Some research has suggested that people with certain genes are more likely to develop bipolar disorder than others. Children with a parent or sibling who has bipolar disorder are much more likely to develop the illness compared to children who do not have a family history of bipolar disorder. However, most children with a family history of bipolar disorder will not develop the illness. There's a 23% chance that a child with one bipolar parent will also be bipolar. That chance is increased to 66% when both parents are bipolar. Okay, so I have this diagram here. My great-grandma was bipolar. She had 2 sons, and my grandma was married to both of them at separate points. My Uncle Marty was not bipolar, but when my grandma and him had my Aunt Tammy, she wasn't bipolar either, but then she had my sister Cage, who's also my cousin, and she's bipolar. And then when my grandma was married to my grandpa, they had my Aunt Holly and my mom, and both of them are bipolar. So, bipolar disorder likes to run in my family. An MRI study found that the brain's prefrontal cortex in adults with bipolar disorder tends to be smaller and don't function as well compared to adults who don't have bipolar disorder. The prefrontal cortex is a brain structure involved in executive functions such as solving problems and making decisions. This structure and its connections to other parts of the brain mature during adolescence, suggesting that abnormal development of this brain circuit may account for why the disorder tends to emerge during a person's teen years. There are many treatments for bipolarism. There are medications, such as mood stabilizers, that are usually the first choice for treatment, antidepressants that can increase the chance of becoming manic, so they have to be taken with a mood stabilizer, and anticonvulsants, which were originally developed to treat seizures, but help with controlling moods. There's also therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy helps people with bipolar disorder learn to change harmful or negative thought patterns and behaviors. Family-focused therapy involves family members and helps enhance family coping strategies, such as recognizing episodes and helping their loved ones. Interpersonal and social rhythm therapy helps people improve their relationships and manage their daily routines. Psychoeducation is another option that teaches people about their illness and treatments. I just want to ask you all right now to not make jokes about bipolar disorder. I mean, I know people don't do it on purpose, but still. Like, those comments aren't actually cool. My mom and sister and my aunt have both tried to kill themselves more than once, and my grandpa actually did kill himself. So, if you could just, like, think about what you say before you say it, that would be appreciated. Yeah. In the beginning of this video, there were some clips of things that I've actually heard people say, and one of them was actually said by my best friend, which was the weather one. So, no, that's just the weather, changing like the weather does. But right now, I want to address the aren't all girls bipolar question. First of all, you're thinking of PMS. And second of all, that's sexist. Like, oh, all girls, they have feelings, and they get annoyed when I'm a jerk to them, so clearly they're bipolar. No. Do you know how many people are bipolar? 5.7 million people are bipolar. There's an equal amount of both men and women. 5% of the population has bipolar disorder. So no, not all girls are bipolar. Oh, and I feel bad that I've been covering Zane this entire video, so you should just bask in his beauty for a second. Just all of them, actually. Just look at him. Yeah, okay, that's it. Thank you for watching.
I remember when I lost my mind.
People with that, or that they have relations or disorder. I didn't press play. Are you kidding me? Family development of this brain circus. Yeah, it's a brain circus. Control with helping, not the line. I didn't press play.